Hello students, welcome to this channel. So this is a little introduction about me. My name is Komal and I'm absolutely thrilled to be starting this journey with you on YouTube, and I have spent past 4 years of my life in teaching political science, particularly to class 11 and 12, and social studies to class 10 students. And honestly, my favorite part of this job has been watching students discover that political science isn't boring. It has even become one of the favorite subjects of many students. So that's what we are doing here. Let's see how we do together on this platform. So up till now I have been, teaching offline in the classrooms. So now this is my first experience. I'm trying on this online platform. Okay. So let's begin. This is the very first chapter of your first political science textbook, Politics in India Since Independence. It is titled as Challenges of Nation Building. The name of the chapter is Challenges of Nation Building. So now this book contains around 9 chapters, and interestingly, the first 3 chapters revolve around the three major challenges that independent India faced. In this chapter, we will get an overview of all the three challenges, but we will study the first one in detail. So, what are these three challenges? Though the first challenge was to build a nation, the first challenge was to build a nation that is united yet accommodating diversity. Notice the two important words here: united and accommodating diversity. India is an extremely diverse country in terms of religion, language, culture, ethnicity, and traditions. Moreover, at the time of independence, the country was completely not united. It was not united, okay? And the first challenge to our unity came in the form of partition, and the second challenge came in the form of 565 princely states that were left to choose their own path. So therefore, the foremost task before independent India was nation building, and this nation had to be united, but also to respect the diversity. So don't worry about the diversity part. We will learn about this thing later in this chapter. As of now, we will discuss about the first part, that is uniting India. Now, the second challenge was to establish a democracy. You see, drafting a constitution is one thing that we have talked in our 11th standard textbook, that we framed a very beautiful constitution by taking inspiration from many of the world's best constitutions. So, drafting a constitution is one thing, but making democracy work on the ground is completely a different challenge. India was at that time uh, India was at that time very, in a very challenging state. We were having illiteracy. We had faced caste discrimination for so long, communal politics. So, in such a scenario, establishing a true democracy on ground was really a challenge. And the third challenge was to ensure that the development of the country was such that all the people of the country got advantaged from this development. It did not leave behind the disadvantaged sections of the country. So, development alone is not enough. The real objective was inclusive development. We knew it from the very beginning that what we need, what we aspire, is for the inclusive development, the development that can, that can work well, that can that can do something for the people who are suffering from poverty, hunger, unemployment, or centuries of exploitation they were suffering. So we will look about the third challenge and the second challenge in the subsequent two chapters. But in the first chapter, we will look about the first challenge, that is the challenge to shape a nation that is united yet accommodating the diversity. So, you see, the first major challenge to India's unity was this two nation theory. What was this two nation theory? This theory was advanced by the Muslim League and the dear Muhammad Ali Jinnah. According to them, India consisted of two people, two peoples. Remember, this peoples has significance in political science. So, India consisted of two peoples, Hindus and Muslims. And according to this theory, these two peoples cannot live together. So that's why the Muslim League demanded Pakistan a separate country for Muslims. Congress, of course, opposed this theory, but, anyways, partition occurred. So the partition, now that partition has occurred, so let's see what were the challenges in the process of partition. So now here, while studying this topic, the challenges in the process of partition, and the another topic, the consequences of partition, the consequences of partition, students often get confused. When I correct answer copies of students, I find that when the question is asking about the challenges of partition, students are writing the another topic, and when the topic is asking about the consequences of partition, they are writing these challenges of in the process of partition. So so that you don't get confused in this thing, let me tell you one thing, that challenges in the process of partition, so when the question is asking challenges of partition, you have to remember that what are the challenges coming in front of our freedom fighters when they are witnessing this partition process, when the partition is happening. To do the partition, what are the challenges? And when it comes to the consequences of partition, consequences simply means result. So what what were the results when the partition has already happened? So these two things you have to remember. Okay, so what were the challenges in the process of partition? So the first challenge was that there was no single Muslim majority belt in the country. So, for example, make a rough map. Let's make a rough map here. So this is our India right now, and please pardon me for making this map. I'm not that well versed in making good map at all, and I'm just trying, so please bear with me. Okay, so roughly this is the India now we have, and the Pakistan, that is, this one is roughly the Pakistan, and this one is roughly the Bangladesh right now. So the first challenge is that there is no single belt of Muslim majority. So here also people are Muslim majority people, and here also there are Muslim majority people. So can you simply draw a line and say this is Pakistan and this is India? No, it is not possible. So now what to do? So now there is no option but to divide the country into three parts and give the two Muslim majority parts to Pakistan and give the one Hindu majority part to India. So that's how there were three parts created. One was East Pakistan, another one was West Pakistan, and the one Hindu majority part, that is India. The second problem in the process of partition was that not all the Muslim majority areas wanted to join Pakistan. You see, a good example is of Northwest Frontier Province. In this Northwest Frontier Province, a famous leader Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. You please remember his name. He is very important. In one marker questions, many a times about his uh, his name is basically asked. It is asked like who is known as Frontier Gandhi. Okay, so this Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, he is known as Frontier Gandhi. So he was respected as we respected the Gandhiji. In the same manner, in this northwest frontier province, he was having that level of respect. So he opposed this. He was not of the view that this northwest frontier province should go to Pakistan. So, not all the Muslim majority people, not all the Muslim majority areas themselves wanted to join Pakistan. And the third challenge was that the Hindu majority areas, even there were even within the Muslim majority provinces, there were Hindu majority areas. What is this? So, let's say, let's suppose this is, let's come to this map again. Now you see this is a map. Now this area was of course Pakistan, and this area was of course again the Pakistan. And here there is one province called Punjab, and here there is one province called Bengal. Okay, so in the Punjab, this side, this side, on Indian side in the Punjab, there were Sikhs and Hindus. And in the Punjab, on the western side, that is Pakistani side, there were Muslims in the majority. And in the Bengal, on the Pakistani side, there were Muslims in majority, and on the Indian side, there were Hindus in majority. So, so there were Hindu majority areas even within Muslim majority provinces. So these provinces itself has to be bifurcated. You see, this was Punjab, and this was bifurcated into Pakistani Punjab and Indian Punjab. And this was Bengal. This was bifurcated into Pakistani Bengal and Indian Bengal. Okay, that's how we got this West Bengal. Okay, then the fourth problem was that of minorities on both the sides. You see, we were a country in which we were living together, Muslims or Hindus or Sikhs or Christians or Buddhists, we were living together for centuries. We cannot imagine that in an in neighborhood of a Muslim people, Hindus would not be residing, or in neighborhood of a Hindu person, Muslim would not be residing. So again come to the map. Here let's take a different color this time. Okay, so in this map, although this is this is the Muslim majority area, and this is the Muslim majority area, and the remaining is the Hindu majority area, but even within the Muslim majority area, there would be Hindu people, Hindu pockets. There would be Hindus, although in minority, but Hindus would be there, no? It cannot be like the entire area is devoid of Hindus. And in the same manner, in the same manner, in the Hindu majority area, there would be Muslims, of course. Can you say there would be no Muslim people? There will be no Muslim people inside India? No, it cannot be. So, when your basis is religion, when your basis is that Hindus should remain here and Muslims should go here, so then how can you, what will you do with these people who are residing here? What will you do with them? So will they willfully go, will they willfully leave their ancestral houses and go to some alien country, alien place? Or the same manner, a Hindu residing in Pakistan, for centuries his families were living here, and now suddenly he has to move towards this side. Will they do such thing willfully? So this was the fourth challenge. People themselves were not willing to move. But anyways, the partition, since it is happening, people definitely had no choice. So you see, there were many Sikhs and Hindus inside Pakistani places like Lahore, and there were Muslims inside Indian places like Delhi. These minority people, they became aliens. They became aliens in their own homeland, and really they did not have any choice but to migrate and face the atrocities. And the next topic is consequences of partition. So this is about once the partition has occurred, so what happened after that? So when the partition has already occurred, so what happened? Now in the consequences of partition, there is, because of the partition, the result of the partition was that there was large scale killing and atrocities on both the sides in the name of religion. Like for example, the cities like Amritsar, the Kolkata, the Lahore, they became centers of communal violence. Around between 5 lakh to 10 lakh people were killed in the partition related violence. And the second result was that because the minorities became alien in their own homeland, you see, now we talked about them. Now these people, this is a Muslim person, for example, Muslim house, and he is surrounded by all the Hindus. And since the environment is communal, he is not secure here. So this person has no choice but to migrate this side or this side. So the second consequence of this partition was that there was large scale migration of minorities across the border. Around 80 lakh people, 80 lakh people in the human history migrated. They abandoned their own houses because they became alien there. And they abandoned their own houses, and you know, you are moving from Delhi, which is your home. You are moving from Delhi and going to Lahore, to some alien place, and you don't know whether you will get a place to live there or not. Definitely, to begin with, you will be put into a refugee camp. And when will government pass your house? No, no one knows. It was for months and years. People lived in refugee camps, and you can imagine the situation in refugee camps. It is it is not less than hell. Then the third consequence of this partition was that when the people were migrating, even in the path of that migration, they were subjected to violence and atrocities. And police or the administration, they also barely provided any help to the minority people. And the fourth consequence was that women, thousands of women, and also children along with that, they were abducted, murdered, forcefully married, they were converted and raped, and even killed by their own family members in the name of honor, to save the family honor. Like if a person is Muslim, or if a person is Hindu, so that Hindu person is living in Pakistan, so now that person has to migrate to India. So now the problem is that in the path of migration, they will face lot of challenge. So it is a fear that if they will take their women to get women to this on this path, what if the enemy catches them, abducts them? So that will be, you know a, a thing of dishonor for the family. So to save the family honor, it is better to kill the women itself. So that was done, it was done. And the fifth consequence of partition was that all assets of our country, like you see, if two brothers get partition, or if they get apart, the whole assets of a family are divided. The land is divided, the house is divided, the table, chair, the spoon, the utensils, the everything is divided in the same manner. Financial assets, administrative offices, police forces, and even everyday items like chair, table, books, musical instruments, papers, clips, railways, everything was divided. So this was also the consequence of partition, result of partition. And the last result was that this partition made India a Hindu majority nation automatically. We were not willing to become a country, we were not willing to become a country that is identified with its religion, but we were made a country which is Hindu majority, and Muslims automatically became minority population there. In 1951, 12% of the people of India were Muslims. So, this is the first part of this chapter. If I get good response from you guys, I will upload the next part soon. So, support my channel and we will grow together. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.